The identity of the agents responsible for the unaliving of Alex Pretty was released. And when their identity was released, the whole vibe changed. It went from Alex Pretty being a labeled a domestic terrorist to, wait a minute, it was Mexicans that did this? Hold on now, we need to do a proper investigation. So now, a day after they released the identity of the agents responsible, Alex Pretty's unaliving has been ruled a homicide. You see, you're a coconut, brown on the outside and white on the inside. You look in the mirror and you thought you was Christopher and Tom. No. You're Raymundo and Jesus. And the oppressors finna remind you of who you are. You're not one of them.
We have some major news. The ICE agents who killed Alex Pretty have now been identified, despite Donald Trump and his regime trying to cover up their names. The two federal immigration agents who fired on Alex Pretty are identified in government records as Border Patrol agent Jesus Ochoa and Customs and Border Protection Officer Raymundo Gutierrez. The records viewed by ProPublica list Ochoa, 43, and Gutierrez, 35, as the shooters during the deadly encounter last weekend that left Pretty dead. Both men were assigned to Operation Metro Surge, which was the immigration crackdown across the city of Minneapolis. And of course, CBP, which employs both men, has so far refused to release their names and has disclosed few other facts about the deadly incident. So far, Donald Trump, Kristi Noem, Stephen Miller, all of those people have been protecting both of these men. But please, help their names go viral. Jesus Ochoa and Raymundo Gutierrez, those are who killed Alex Pretty. ProPublica did a great job with that article on finding out who they are, but seriously, those names need to go viral. Every single
Listeners, welcome back to the channel. I'm hoping that you are doing great from whatever you're watching me from. As you know, I'm your host and presenter, Tech Stories. Something is just coming to my attention. And when this was happening, it was just okay for the United States. But now when people knew the identity of the two ICE agents or the federal officers who were responsible for the death of Alex Pretty, now the issue has turned now to be domestic. And remember, just before it was just an ICE agent and everyone was just ICE out, ICE out, ICE out. And it's true. ICE agents or the federal agency, they are so menace, they are a problem to the United States, and people don't definitely want them for the problems that they have caused to the people of the United States. But two things are standing at the moment. Biggest question that I'm asking myself right now is, why are you Latinos your own enemies? Why are you Latinos the enemy of Black Americans? That's the big question that we need to ask ourselves. You know, sometimes when people say brown on brown conflict, we might just take it for granted, but this Latino situation is now getting out of hand because according to the data that was being released, it shows that majority of people that ICE agents took were Latinos. And do you know why? Because Trump sat down and saw to it that, you know what, I'm going to take a person that doesn't understand the pain of these Americans and let me put them to be the federal agent so that they deal with all these immigrants and these quotes and quotes illegal people, illegal aliens of the United States. I'm just asking myself a big question. Right now, you're getting your wake-up call, and I hope that's how to write because that's well deserved. You deserve what is you deserve what is happening to you right now. But at the end of the day, these people are causing a big menace. To my surprise, majority of these people are the Latinos who are causing all these problems to these people. So brothers and sisters, I'm gonna let you watch the video and then I'll be back. I'll be sharing my thoughts. I don't want you to say that I'm biased about Latinos or something. At this point, I feel like Latinos, it is so much hard to defend them because they're proven over time. They're proven over time that you cannot defend this group of people. To deal with them is so much tough. Now look at what is happening. But I mean, at the end of all these videos, I must say something that I believe that it's important. So let's watch the video. I'll be back.
Of course, Alex Pretty's assassins have to be Latino. It's part of the theater. It plays into all of this, right? You have to realize that a large portion of all this is theater, right? Not to demean any of the deaths, right? They're obviously a tragedy, but there's still theater being played in and around this. If you don't think so, like when you first saw Alex Preddy get assassinated, there was a component of like, wow, he was really kind of at the wrong place at the wrong time. He was doing a good deed and this thing. Then the more the propaganda machine, the theater presented to you was just that, oh, he was previously fighting these guys. And then really it became apparent that it was premeditated murder. These guys kind of found out where he was, went and engaged with him again so they could assassinate him. Well, if that's true, then you need to understand that the propaganda machine needs the murderers to be Latino. And here's the two major reasons for that. Number one, it gives DHS and ICE a way of saying, look, we're not white supremacists. Those were Latinos who killed them. And footnote, if you're an immigrant, even if you were born here from your immigrant parents, and you're working for ICE, there's a special place in hell for you. Literally, a rung so low that you'll never understand. Anyway, it has to be Latinos because of they're going to deny the white supremacy factor, right? And then most importantly, and I know this is going to freak you out, but it's true, it's planting this micronic seed, right, of racism in what is otherwise a very progressive, white, entitled, affluent person fighting against ICE. Do you see what I mean? Because if you're fighting for the immigrants and it turns out the immigrants are doing the killing, and again, I hate to say this, but of white people, right? There's just the smallest little seed inside these people that is planted that can be like, well, what am I doing here? Why am I doing this? We're fighting for you and you're betraying your own people. You see what I mean? So again, I know it sounds terrible, but it's true. And I think it's very effective. And also look at their like YMCA look too. I think this part of this, of course, unfortunately, Alex Preddy was murdered. I believe that to be a truth, right? Renee Good was murdered. That's a truth. But the rest of the components around it are theater. And you have to understand that theater is propaganda and how it's manipulating you. And these guys being Latino is a hell of a manipulation. Here's the thing. They don't even exist. That's just, Jesus, and his name's Jesus. Ochoa. And Custom Border Protection Officer Raimundo Gutierrez. I mean, you can't get more Latino than that, right? So again, I don't even believe these guys exist. I think this is just a propaganda technique by ICE.
Because what you mean an ICE agent detained and arrested an off-duty Latino ICE agent who was at the gas station? So ICE ain't even safe from ICE.
So they've released the names of the two ICE agents who killed Alex Preddy. And you won't believe this. They're both Hispanic. That's what we're being told. The two agents were both Hispanic, both of them. Only people involved in this were Hispanic. That's what they're saying. Feels real convenient. This is a play that Kristi Noem makes a lot because after she drunkenly left her purse in a bar, it was stolen by two illegal immigrants. Do you remember that? I think that was like last April. Could actually be the same two Hispanic guys, right? After that one, they got a new job at ICE, only to be the scapegoat for this one. But we won't know for sure how this all went down until Kash Patel tweets out a picture of the bullets that explains everything. I'm assuming the bullets will say, like, I'm a transgender athlete, or something like that, just to clarify that this is not, like, run-of-the-mill ICE stuff. These people were bad. We're quickly trying to cover up whatever happened here, obviously. And the go-to move is to blame it on somebody who doesn't look like the people in charge.
Has anyone else noticed that a lot of these ICE agents and or Border Patrol agents are Latino? They are actively being dispatched to hunt down and deport other Latino people. But of course, not just Latino people are being deported. There are also plenty of black people being deported, but I specifically want to talk about Latinos for this video. So my question is how are they able to convince these ICE agents to hunt down these Latino people to deport them, despite them being Latino themselves? And I feel like this question diverges into two categories. Whether the Latino ICE agents have a internalized self-hate towards their own people, or if they are just doing this to be able to survive the American system and move upward in social mobility. An incentive that Latino people could find in deportation is the fact that they can make their racial category more close to whiteness, essentially making their race more clean from a capitalist perspective, because they are getting rid of that association with illegality by getting rid of the illegal Latinos, because illegality in itself is a racially charged category. Whenever people bring up the term illegal immigrant, they tend to implicitly associate it with either Latino or black people, despite a lot of white people being illegal as well. Whenever these white politicians bring up these white South African refugees, they never call them illegal because they racialize the category for black and Latino people. But then this also links to the other part that I talked about earlier, the survival within the system. A lot of Latino people that are working in ICE may want their racial category to be not associated with illegal immigrants, so they are able to excel financially or socially. As long as they are linked with the category of illegal, it is going to be much harder to get stable wages. It's going to be much harder to evolve socially, because there are going to be those stereotypes and connotations associated with their racial category as long as illegal people are still in America. But little do they know, if we get rid of the illegal immigrants, that negative connotation regarding their race is still going to be there. This is an internalized hatred that exists at the psychological level. They will actively work to deport their own people, but in reality not benefit from it, because we still have institutionalized racism. Getting rid of illegal immigrants is not going to make the category of Latino look better. Since we are still in a racist system, it will take systemic change to be able to get rid of that negative outlook on Latino people.
This message is for all you MAGA Latino ICE agents. I know we're heading into, this is now the third longest government shutdown in history. We're entering day 20. I know you guys aren't getting paid, and your daddy Trump has already said you're not going to get back pay. So you're essentially working for free. I know the bills are piling up. Your pockets are tight. I'll make a deal with you. How about you leave your post, tell your daddy Trump that you got to go, you got to pay bills. Stop harassing the Latino community, my Latino brothers and sisters, and in exchange, I'll give you guys a job. I'll let you guys do some odd jobs around here, you know, clean up a little bit, maybe wash my truck, wash my car. You know, and in exchange, I'll pay your mortgage, I'll buy you groceries to feed your families. I'll do all the things that your daddy Trump is not doing. So what do you guys say? Are you in?
There's a super ultra specific place in hell for Latino ICE agents. I just watched a video of an ICE agent in Minnesota, and he's confronted in his car, and he goes, and this is not an exaggeration by the way, he goes, if you raise your voice, I'm going to erase your voice. Papi, where are you from, if I might ask? Like, I don't give a fuck, but clearly you do, and your whole job entails checking other people's nationalities. I gotta see yours first. Like, where is the self-awareness? Like, how do you not pause in that moment and think, what have I done to lead me to this point right here in my life?
Mira, Latino. Y es Latino, mira.
What do you have your face? Come on.
Y es Latino, mira. Voy, déjelo. No le ponga la... Déjelo, déjelo. Mira, Latino. No respeta la raza, mira. No respeta la raza, no le da vergüenza. No le da vergüenza. Y es Latino. Sacar el nopal que tiene, bro. Me da vergüenza sacar ese man. You know? Voy, déjalo, vámonos ya, voy.
What is it about Texas that makes first, second, third, or older generation Latinos there hate themselves and their people as much as they do? This is not an idle question. It's the sort of thing that I have often known and wondered about for a very long time, because by this point in time, Texas would already have become a blue state if the Latinos who are there, who are part of those groups, had begun to recognize the white supremacist institutions that are keeping Latinos there down and begin to vote against Republicans. So that people like Lying Ted, a man who fucking runs to a warmer climate as soon as there is any sort of news about a potential storm hitting Texas, would no longer be representing that state. And it's also not an idle question because it's very much related to this moment right now, as in this very moment. Because according to this article from ProPublica, we have identified the two men that killed Alex Pretty. and they both are Latinos. They're both from Texas. As you can see the names here, Jesus Ochoa and Raimundo Gutierrez. And in the case of Jesus, he actually goes by Jesse. Okay, this is how much this man dislikes and hates his Latino blood. He refuses to go by his normal name and pick something that is much wider sounding, Jesse. Now, I don't know about Raimundo. I don't know if he also changes his name to a different thing, but I'm willing to bet you anything you want that Raimundo goes by Ray, because it's also wider. So these two men signed up in 2014 and 2018. So they have been part of this racist organization much longer than this moment right now. The fact that they were happy to go to this place and inflict the sort of violence that is being inflicted in Minneapolis tells me how committed they are to this cause and how much they hate their own people. I suspect that some of this is related to his schooling in Texas. I suspect that it's internalized racism, that they have taught him from a very young age that Latinos are less than white people there. And as a result, they took that hate and they turned it outward towards damaging brown people. But there is something just so fucking corrupt about Texas that makes Latinos be like this. And it's fucking gross. It's fucking gross. And if you live in Texas and you're a Latino, if you're a actual zero generation, first generation, please make sure that your children do not grow up to believe this fucking nonsense so that they do not become oppressors within our own culture, against our own culture.
We have some major news. The ICE agents who killed Alex Preddy have now been identified, despite Donald Trump and his regime trying to cover up their names. The two federal immigration agents who fired on Alex Preddy are identified in government records as Border Patrol agent Jesus Ochoa and Customs and Border Protection Officer Raimundo Gutierrez. The records viewed by ProPublica list Ochoa, 43, and Gutierrez, 35, as the shooters during the deadly encounter last weekend that left Preddy dead. Both men were assigned to Operation Metro Surge, which was the immigration crackdown across the city of Minneapolis. And of course, CBP, which employs both men, has so far refused to release their names and has disclosed few other facts about the deadly incident. So far, Donald Trump, Kristi Noem, Stephen Miller, all of those people have been protecting both of these men. But please, help their names go viral. Jesus Ochoa and Raimundo Gutierrez, those are who killed Alex Preddy. ProPublica did a great job with that article on finding out who they are, but seriously, those names need to go viral. Every single American
surprise at Latinos working as ICE agents.
Well, yes. Latino icon, Mexican-American Cesar Chavez, he established a border patrol that preceded ICE in the mid-1970s. I'm going to read from two sources, and I will list them. I will show them at the end of this video. Chavez and the UFW, United Farm Workers, were so against wetbacks that they formed their own private border patrol. Cesar Chavez was in fact deeply hostile toward wetbacks, as he and many others of this time call them, and pushed a campaign against illegal immigration that generated violence along the U.S.-Mexico border. He was relentless in his efforts to halt immigration from Mexico and was active in pursuing the deportation of those already here. Chavez claimed that undocumented workers were driving down wages and, crucially, being used as strike breakers. Mexican immigrants were routinely used to break strikes, but their desperate situation often led them to take whatever work they could get. In the mid-1970s, Chavez launched what he called the Illegals Campaign, an effort to raise awareness about illegal immigration and report undocumented workers to federal authorities. At one point, the patrol operation was so large, it employed 300 people and cost the UFW $80,000 a week. $80,000 a week. You had to be so committed to your fuckery. This is one of the sources I use. Google the title. This is another source I use. Google the title and access it.
They told him he had no rights. They put him on the ground and laughed at him. An American citizen, born and raised here. They told him he had no rights. And I'm supposed to find some kind of way to compromise and have neutrality for that. They went so far as to say these migrants are starting to get more resistible. They're resisting. And we're going to have to start shooting them. And they all laughed in unison. One of them even went so far to say, I can smell that 39K bonus coming up, while they tased a man that was not resistant. Where is the humanity in where there are so many tone deaf people that I envy you because you're able to go on about your day as a Hispanic person. But if they're able to do this to an American citizen, they're going to do it to you as well. And this isn't to fearmonger, to make it sound like, oh, everything's going bad and all. They're targeting you. They do not care. If anything, this video proves my point. Where we are as a nation, where we are literally chasing down anybody who is an immigrant or who looks like an immigrant or who is brown, is absolutely pathetic. There is no middle ground. You're either for it and complicit for it, or you're out here speaking out. Stay safe out there, raza.
So Ileana Garcia, one of the co-founders of Latinos for Trump, she is now speaking out against the Trump administration because she was in the airport and someone overheard her speaking Spanish and questioned her if she was a United States citizen or not. So now she's afraid for her son, and she's worried if her son is going to be profiled when he goes out. Look, let me tell you something. If you're Latino for Trump, stop speaking Spanish in public, because someone is going to overhear you and they're going to call ICE and report you to ICE. Remember who you are. You're Latino for Trump.
Finish the wall! Finish the wall! Finish the wall! Finish the wall!
Build the wall. You're Latino for Trump. That's what you get. When you send your children out, make sure they take their papers with them. Proof of residency. Make sure you remind them to not speak Spanish in public, to not be Latino in public, because you're Latino for Trump, and that's what you get.
Back to the channel. I'm hoping that you are doing great from whatever you're watching from. Brothers and sisters, you know, America is so much good at playing theatrics. And understand, in as much as I'm still putting all this blame to Latinos, of which indeed it is well deserved, they deserve everything that comes to them right now. But of course, I understand not all Latinos are doing this. But my question that I'm asking again, why are you Latinos hating on each other? Why is this big self-hate? Is it because that you want to be pick-me to Trump or white people? Why are you always trying to prove yourself to the extent that you lose humanity, to the extent that you lose yourself, to the extent that you lose your people, you lose your community, you terrorize? It is so much devastating seeing a Latino ICE agent harassing Latinos, because most of the time, most of the clips that I've seen them try harass black people. I've seen them try harass Latinos. Yet these are a group of people that somehow they understand your struggle. And a Latino, you as a Latino, you should understand the struggles that your fellow brothers and sisters are going through. But you know what? You've decided that you're not going to be doing that. You decided that you are waiting for that stimulus check that Mr. Donald Trump promised you. But guess what? You are not even getting the stimulus check. Because according to the news that are coming out right now, it shows that you are not going to get it. Because some of you already are going out on the social media trying to ask for help. You are asking for help, yet you are the ones who brought all these problems. So you understand the context. It tells you that this group of people, they hate themselves. And it is a proof. And this is something that they have shown. They have shown for a while now. They have proven that they hate themselves. America is so much good at playing theatrics, and they played with you. And you've fallen into the Trump's trap. And he wanted you in the exact position that you are in. And I hope you all get to learn that sometimes it's so hard to fend for Latinos. It's so much hard to fend for Latinos. They're the ones who are still used. At the end of the day, they sang a song, I will vote for Mr. Donald Trump. Still, they didn't learn. How many times will black people tell you that these people are not your friends? How many times are you going to listen? Because now see, an ICE agent is causing a problem to a black person, is causing a problem to even a white person, is causing a problem to fellow Latinos. That's the most devastating thing. Right now, you see, it's now domestic. Because after the Americans have discovered that now you're Latinos, now it's different. Because if it could have been a white person, it could have been different. And that tells you that you as a Latino, you can never be white. Despite what you're trying to do, you can never be white. Even if you try to play a pick-me type of person, you can never be white. So it's crazy that all is happening, and this ICE issue is a menace and it needs to be called out. America is a stolen land. Let it be. Let those who want to be. So long as they're productive, they have papers, let them be. Right? It is crazy that people are losing lives. People are being detained. People are being arrested by people who are immigrants in that country. Majority of those ICE agents, and people are realizing that when you get to check the name, you go and see a lot of Rodrigos. You're going to see all of them. They don't have them papers, but they have the urge to send and to terrorize and to intimidate the citizens of the United States. It is so inhuman. It is so crazy that the government is watching this happen, and they're saying that you should comply because they're just doing their jobs. And that's what they get paid for. Well, I hope all those agents get paid, because right now I'm seeing them online trying to complain that they didn't even get the upfront check payment that they were promised. They haven't even received the bonus, the 50K bonus that they were promised. They haven't seen none of that. It is getting crazier and crazier and crazier in the United States. But at the end of the day, think about it. Who is the enemy? It is so sad realizing that under the mask is a person that should be understanding the problems that these people are facing. Just because you're being offered a check, that doesn't mean that you will solve all the problems that you're having. There's a saying that probably goes that the bullet didn't hurt me, but what hurt me is seeing the person that fired the bullet. And this is a perfect example to what's happening to black people. This is a perfect example to what's happening to fellow Latinos, because these people feel betrayed. They share somehow an history in relation to white people. Yet we have all this group of people that are playing pick-me to white people. Understand, and guess one thing, you can never be a white person, and you will never be a white person. As long as that sinks into your mind, you'll understand the importance of standing with fellow people and not getting on the line and getting played and getting duped by Mr. Donald Trump. Because this is what he's good at. And he's doing it in the most perfect way. So brothers and sisters, I really don't know what you feel about this, but think about it. As you know, I'm your host and presenter Tech Stories. I'm hoping to see you on my next video. It is late night over here. I don't know what's the time from while you're watching this video, but I'm hoping that you are great. I'm hoping that you're having a good time and stay safe from all these chaotic things that are happening in the United States. Keep your mind sane. Watch out for your brothers and sisters. Speak out. Black people, we say that this is not our fight, but at the end of the day, we need to be so much vigilant. We need to be so much careful. Check on our brothers and sisters and see how all these things are happening, and see America unravel its own clothes. And this is happening right now. It's just crazy, right? So let me see you in my next video. But until then, peace, love, and harmony. Salute.